Hey everybody, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a little casual slay. It's my go-to slayage, you know. So I'm going to start off by doing my brows, and as you can see, my background is different than what it has been, and that's because I'm on spring break right now in this video. So I am back at home with me madre. So I was clearly off the molly and didn't pack an eyebrow brush. So I'm using eyeshadow to fill in my brows today. And that's how that went. It was cool. I made do. So then I am going to cut my brows right on out and accentuate that arch, you know. And I am going to use a concealer brush that is pretty flattened out so that I can get right under my arch. I don't like to do a super duper bright underbrow highlight. That concealer is a little bit darker than my, well, it's not a little bit darker than my skin tone. It's still a highlight, but it's not like halo brow highlight. And I'm just going to do that to both of me brows. And then for the top part of my brows, I'm going to use the foundation that I have on hand. Usually I wouldn't use my expensive Lancome foundation, but I didn't have anything else besides my stick foundation. So I'm going to use that to do the top of my brows. Because like I said before, I don't want to put that super duper light concealer over the top of my brows, you know? So I'd rather have something else that just mimics my skin tone so that it doesn't look like I literally sat there and cut my brows out like paper mache and I'm in the first grade. So then I am going to take my Benefit Ready Set Brow and run that through me brow hairs because they get sad and they fall and we can't have that. So then I got y'all real up close and personal. And I am going to take this color from the Naked palette. I think it's called Buff if I'm not mistaken. And I'm just going to dust that over my lid just to set in that concealer so that I am not creasing. And then I am going to go into my Tartelette palette, and I used all of the purples in the palette, just randomly mixed them together to see what kind of colors I was getting. And if I wanted to go a little bit darker, then I would dip it into the darker color, a little lighter, a little ashier, you know. So that's why I didn't show exactly what colors I was using, because I really didn't know which colors I wanted to use. So the whole point of this eyeshadow look is just to give me a little something going on in my eyes. And to some people this is very smoky, but when you have a darker skin tone, you don't have the option of doing like a neutral, like a tan eye, you know, or whatever. You have to go a little bit darker. So this is my version of like a little neutral eye, because to me this is neutral, but to like everybody else in the world it's smoky. But you know, whatever, we gonna roll with it. So what you're going to see me doing a lot in this video is trial and error, and I encourage you to do the same thing. So with makeup, as always, don't go super duper hard and then end up having to take off all your eyeshadow because you like smudged black eyeshadow all over your lid and you're like, oh, didn't want that. Start off small and then keep on building until you get to the opacity. I think it's opacity. Yeah, sure. Until you get to the pigment that you would like. And that is what I did. So now I'm just going to go back in my crease with the lighter purple and then the lighter tan colors in the palette, just to blend out the edges. Oh, look, I'm showing you. So I went in between the tan colors, and then I clearly said that I don't know what I'm doing. And so I went between the tan colors and the purples just to get no harsh lines in me crease. And then to blend it out up higher and to make sure, once again, I have no harsh lines, I took the lighter pink and purple colors and blended those more up toward my brow, but definitely not into my brow, because we do not like shadows up into our brows, because that is a not fly. So now I'm going to take my NYC liquid liner, which is the best eyeliner of all time. I love a million times love it, and I actually heard that they're not selling it anymore, which is very upsetting, and they're only selling it in Canada, which is very upsetting. So if you see it in the store, buy like 7 of them, because apparently they're only available online now. But trust and believe, when I go into a Big Lots or a Walgreens and I catch them, it's over. I'm buying every single one on the shelf, because this eyeliner is so good, so precise, so black, so easy to use, and it's like $3. So now I'm gonna take the best lashes in the whole entire world, which are the Vegas Nail Lashes, and my Duo Paint On Glue, which is so good, especially for beginners. And I'm going to let that glue dry. And actually the thing with that glue is that as it dries, it will turn blue, and then it dries down to clear. So it's especially good for beginners, so that you don't have to like use the squeeze out tube and then wait for it to kind of turn tannish and then try to put it on. That glue is thebomb.com. And so I just threw some mascara on and then threw my lashes on. And then my face was feeling a little dry. So in preparation for my foundation, I just sprayed my Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray on my face. Then I used my Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation and spread that all over me face. And then I'm going to take my Booty Blender, and I'm going to blend that right into the face. The thing with this foundation is that since it is a stick foundation, it's so beautiful on, but if I'm not careful, I will leave those streaks on my face if I don't blend it out well enough. And now I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the darkest color that I believe that they sell, in the color Mahogany, which has grown on me so much. When I first started using the Shape Tape, I thought that it was okay and the hype was kind of not worth it, but I find myself grabbing it almost every single time I do my makeup, so it's kind of fire. And then I am going to blend all of this out. And as you guys can see, I highlight it in the very normal places that, you know, every girl ever highlights. And then I am going to be thirsty, as we can all clearly see, and use the new Laura Mercier translucent powder that she just came out with in the color Deep. And my first time using this, I was kind of lackluster about it, because I like for my powders, especially my under eye powders, to be a lot brighter, but it is actually not too dark. So since I felt like it was too dark, I went in with my trusty Sasha Buttercup powder, and I used that to kind of like reverse contour. So with darker skin tones, you kind of have to be a little tricky with the way that you contour, because you don't have really the same products at your disposal to contour the way that most girls do. So the face that I just made was because I, without thinking, put the Sasha Buttercup on top of the Laura Mercier, and I was supposed to just be doing like a first impressions of it, and I realized that I didn't really give it a good chance because I went right over it with powder. So what you're seeing me do here is something that I always do, which is go over my lash line with some eyeliner to make sure that that band blends in really nicely. So I'm going to take the darkest color in my Tartelette palette, which is like a deep chocolate brown, and I'm going to use that to contour me face, to snitch my face up to the guts, honey. So this was my first time doing this actually. I just impulsively was like, oh, this looks cool. So I just went in for the hollows of my cheek, and then I guess that I mixed the lightest, I'm sorry, not the lightest color, the darkest color and the brown that's right next to it. Both the colors look a lot lighter on camera, but I also look a lot lighter on camera. Like, don't let the lights fool you, honey. Like, I am melanin infused. So then I'm going to take my favorite eyeliner ever in the history of the world, my Maybelline something something black ebony something drugstore liner, I don't know. And I'm going to line the inner rim of my eyes. And then I'm going to take some of the purples that I use on my lid, and I'm going to smudge out my under eye, not severely, but just, you know, a little something. And then I'm going to go into my Coastal Scents Revealed palette, and I'm going to highlight my brow. And my brow highlight is my most favorite thing that I do in my makeup routine. And I only started highlighting my brow like this summer, and I will never go back. It just changes everything to me. So then I'm going to dust off that excess bakage, and I'm going to use my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in order to do that. And the reason that I do this is to take away from some of the ash that the Sasha Buttercup can give me sometimes. Because when you go in with a skin tone color powder over your lighter powders, it helps to not, wow, Simone words. It helps you to not have such a stark difference between the last powder, or the ashier powder, and the other powder. Wow, I'm trash. So then I'm going to highlight my inner corner of my eyeballs, and I am then going to hit my lower lash line with some mascara, and I use the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, the same that I used on my top lashes. Now I'm gonna go in with another layer of mascara for my bottom lashes, because I don't play. I like a spidery bottom lash line. And then I'm going to finish up with my MAC Fix Plus, which I will spray on my face about 100,000 times, because I need for my foundation to look like it is just melted into my skin, like everything about it. So then I'm going to take my Urban Decay High Lit, and I'm going to highlight the top of my cheekbones. But that is not the only one that we're going to use, honey, because it's never enough. But it is a beautiful, quote-unquote, subtle highlight, but it is very glittery. Then I'm going to go into my Bybel palette, and I'm going to take that second, or the third, I guess, third highlight, and I'm going to hit the tops of my cheekbones once again. And I am not dipping my brush into there very much at all, because they're very, very, very pigmented highlights. And then I'm going to do the tip of my nose and down the bridge of my nose. And the tip of my nose and the bridge of my nose, I can literally go so hard on, because I love the way that it looks. Then I'm going to take my Booty Blender and blend, 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 blend it, and blend, and blend. And And then surprise, surprise, another layer of Fix Plus to make sure we are glowing, healthy, honey, yes. And then I'm going to wipe off that lip balm that I had on at the beginning of the video, and I am going to go for a nudie purplish, I don't know, kind of look. So I'm going to use ColourPop's Guess to outline my lips and to fill it in, just not so intensely, but I'm definitely like almost out of it. I have to reorder it. Then I'm going to take a Sephora brand liquid lip. I don't know if they're advertising them as liquid lips. I'm pretty sure they call them liquid creams or something. I don't know. They're bomb. They're fire. And it's a very taupey purple. I think it's called Purple Sunset. And I'm gonna go on top with that. And when I do anything that's not a gloss or that's not a dark purple, anything that is a nude, I have to work so hard at it to make it look good. So I did a whole bunch of steps here to get the lip to look, you know, like not like I smoke crack for fun. But the really big thing that made a difference is putting limbo on top of it all to give it a little bit more warmth. And then what are we gonna do? More Fix Plus, yes. And then slay 'em, yes.
Did you open the door?
Who's the man?
Did he knock on the door?
Yeah.
And you opened it? Now what if it was a kidnapper?
Well, that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.